And that's the same way I feel about The Rocketeer. Even though it didn't do well, I
sake.
still feel that it was the best way to do The Rocketeer.
That
I'm just saying.
hurts.
This episode is like a fuck you to me. It's just a
Rocketeer.
fuck
Called
you to Sabrina
a-
the entire fucking
Fuck
episode.
you, Al
You
Pacino.
talked already?
Not that I talked, I mean the subjects. It's like literally ready to slam my head against the wall.
I'm just saying, I was a kid
Spider?
in
1991,
1991.
me too. Me
In
too, Brian.
1991.
Jennifer Connelly,
My-
baby.
Dude, she
Oh,
was
boy.
so,
Jennifer Connelly
she
was
was
in
so
it?
hot in this
She was,
too.
yeah.
She was in the Rocketeer. She's the Racketeer.
You had
Let's call it Trump.
Timothy Dalton in this too, like fucking James Bond himself, killing it as Sinclair in this
Hard
too.
no.
He did a great job. You had Nazis, you had
Who the
World
fuck is
War
Sinclair?
II, you had a rocket on some guy's back, the original Iron Man. I mean, for me, it was great. You had that big bulldog back in that restaurant that's in Hollywood right now, or it's in North Hollywood. If you go to the idle hours in the backyard of that place, it's there. You can go there. So I'm just saying, Rocketeer 91, I thought was great. I know it didn't do well for Disney. Of course, it's about like a guy that he's a pilot, test pilot. There's a rocket gets stowed away. He gets it. He becomes a superhero pretty much, kind of in a way. And the Nazis trying to get back from him because they think that the Nazis will put it in their back and they'll
Nazis.
invade the United States and destroy everybody.
How
That's the
good do the
Rocketeer.
Nazis work
DC?
for Indiana Jones? Not great.
Is he DC? I don't think he's DC.
Is he DC
Marley.
or is he is he
he's some
Marvel?
kind of.
Is he actually a superhero?
Is he, I don't think is he attached? That's a Sean question right there.
Sean
Sean,
has,
is he
doesn't
attached?
seem like Sean has a lot of knowledge. This character
Sean
hasn't been
Katir,
referenced
tell me
a
about
lot
it.
in the Crisis on Infinite Earths
I mean,
here.
technically, because it's Disney, now it would be Marvel.
He's
Come on,
Marvel.
But is it actually part of a comic book? Is it a comic
Yeah.
book?
This was a
Yeah,
Vertigo
there's a comic book,
series.
yeah.
Does the IP
No.
come from the comic book?
There's a comic book. Yeah.
Is it
Well,
Image
From a
comic?
Marvel
But that-
or DC comic book, or like a different comic book, like The Boys?
It's IDW, first off.
Oh, okay.
What does that mean?
Mm.
It's a different publishing
Well, it
arm.
is
We
Image.
don't
I don't
have
whistle.
enough time. We don't have enough time to go
Okay.
through
No, no.
the whole
Fair.
platform situation.
Dad's getting hot. He's like, we do not have it. Shut the fuck. I'll answer your question later, miss.
Except
Eat
that
your
there are
corn.
more than just DC and Marvel. That's
You
all
ask
need.
for a
Yes.
nerd episode, you get a nerd episode.
Yeah.
I didn't ask for any of it. I asked for literally nothing.
I do want to say this so before we get into this too much. So the original came out, and in August of 2021, actually,
Where's
Deadline
GR?
broke a story. I don't know, maybe I don't know. GR's got a life,
GR,
you know.
what the
he's
fuck,
doing
bud?
something.
Where are you,
GR's
number one
friend of the
fan?
show,
Because
but
he's
you know,
mad at me. He's mad.
Oh, he is mad at you. Fucking
very
he's
upset at
okay,
me.
Sean. He's
Yeah.
okay. He'll he'll
He's
take
He
okay.
time.
texted
He's
you
okay.
after the show.
He did?
No, he didn't.
No,
No.
I'll give you
I've
your
never
number,
heard
Sean.
from
I'll
that
give-
man.
I'll give him your
I'm
number.
sure you
He's
didn't.
sending you a
I'm sure
toy.
he
Did you
didn't.
get his toy?
No, I didn't
But-
get any toys
but-
from him. No.
But in 2021, Deadline broke the whole news about this coming down, and they were going to call it the Return of the Rocketeer. That was what's going to happen, and they were going to change the whole thing. We're bringing Cliff back. We're going to have a new character coming in. It was going to be written by the writer of Selma. That's who's coming in. David. I can't say his name, but David was coming in to do it. And then
David,
on top of
Big D.
that, they were going to actually change the
That's
character to
Lorena.
be, a retired Tuscany airman. And they're going to change the whole thing. He's become an African-American character, and they're going to change the whole thing. And now they're changing it again, and now the hero will be a black female pilot who plays a whole thing that she's trying to stop an evil air rocket scientist from stealing jetpack technology during a pivotal moment in the Cold War. So they're changing the whole era. They're changing the whole concept. They're changing everything. And that's kind of how it goes.
So
And
again, make it a new fucking show.
it's a whole new, again, that's what happens. Again, we talk about these projects all the time, or that come along, that they just take an IP and then they tweak it completely, and they just want to, you don't want you to get the butts in the seat based off of the name, which happens all the time. Like people like myself and Mike was talking about how we love the Rocketeer when we were kids. And so like, Rocketeer, yeah. And then we get there and we're like, this is not the Rocketeer, but you know what? Maybe it'll bring this into a new generation for people and they'll love it. I don't know. Setting the Cold War, I think, is wrong for me. I get it. You're trying to change it, but it's not a Cold War movie. It's a movie about Nazis.
It's a steampunk device, right? Like
It's true.
You
Yeah.
know, it's tanks and metal. Like that doesn't exactly say Cold War.
Cold War.
Steampunk
Yeah.
device.
And it's like, dude, it's honestly, it's like it's about Americans versus Nazis. That's what this whole thing's about. It's about the build to World War II. Like, it's about that time in the world where like we were dealing with technology was rising and like how each side was just trying to conquer each other. I mean, I just love that era, and I think it works a lot of times.
When was
Like
the last
Indiana
time you saw
Jones.
this movie? It is
I-
reminiscent of Indiana Jones.
About 3 months
Last
ago,
week.
something like that.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
last week.
What'd you think, man? Is it can you give us the quick?
Of Indiana Jones?
You felt okay? No. About the recent watch of the Rocketeer.
You saw The Rocketeer 3 months ago?
I was happy. Yeah, I watched it like 3 months ago.
He
something like
snuck
that.
away. He went to the garage. He dragged
You were-
the TV out with an
he needed
extension
some me
cord.
time. All right, I get it.
You were in
He can
Florida.
have all the fucking me time he wants. I can give a shit less. I'm
If
just
you're
shocked
gonna be
that he watched
watching
The
the
Rocketeer.
yeah.
You know, when I saw this story,
Hard
I
no.
wanted to watch it again. I'm like, I kind of want to put it back on
What?
again. I just love this
Ugh.
movie. It's a lot of fun. It's like,
It's
you know,
great.
it's like,
Fuck off.
It's a great movie.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. Right, Sean? So, Sean,
Ugh.
I mean, do you think that this is worth the reboot at this point, or do you think they should just leave that guy alone like we talk about all the
It's
time?
a show or it's a movie? Sorry, quick.
It's a movie. It's a movie. It's a movie.
For real. It's a
Right.
movie.
It's a
in
movie.
theaters.
Right.
Movie.
Go
In
ahead
theaters.
and go ahead and interject the last comment I had for the previous segment for
Thank
here.
Edit it
you.
right back in, right?
Verbatim.
Hard
right?
no.
Like, for fuck's sake, man.
Some things you just need to let be, man. Like, like the Rocketeer was great. It was a goof. It was weird. It was, again, like its own little thing. I don't need more of it. If I want more, there's tons of comic books and, apparently a Disney Plus kids show. So why the hell not? I think there's plenty already out there. Look at this. Wow. Giphy is working
yeah.
real strong today. It's
Hard
fantastic.
no. It really
Like, I mean,
is.
look at that
Set your
costume.
pants on fire next
Yeah.
to the
This
flag.
is annoying though because it
Shoot
just
to the
repeats
moon.
itself like 100 times.
Hey,
I
it's
don't
a trial, you know?
It's
I
just
like-
fun.
I
Every
do.
other
I like it.
every time you watch
No.
it, you pick up something new. Wow, that flag looks great. Oh shit. Did he hold on? Crime 101 here. Did he light the
No
flag on
bullshit.
fire?
I noticed all these
Did the
things in the
fire.
first take. I'm not learning anything new.
Desecration of a flag. That's a crime.
they got
I see, dude.
goddamn jetpacks, but they have to frickin' flick their zip. They have to lean back with their Zippo to get it started.
I mean, if you listen, when you saw
I think that's a bit.
the Rocketeer for the first time, you
The
don't tell me
barbecue
that
later.
you wanted. It's the same thing. It's the same propulsion device that like Turbo Man uses in the fucking Jingle All the Way movie, right?
Good reference.
Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want that kind of gauntlet just to be like, shush,
Me.
and you just zoom away?
do.
Forget it. It's great. Sign me up
I
for a
prefer to
jetpack. I
actually
don't care.
fly like real superheroes.
I love the reference. So
I will
we'll take
burn-
Sean's take.
Yeah, I will burn as many American flags as it takes for me to get the Rocketeer
Very
suit.
rude.
I would love to have that. I
That's
was
a
dressed like
real
that for
American.
Halloween, man.
I'm surprised you
there.
don't say I want to burn the British flag as
I
much
would-
as you
I
hate
would-
the monarchy.
I
That's
love
expected.
dressing.
Sabrina, always keep them guessing. Always
Keep 'em guessing.
Sabrina. That's it.
But Sabrina, you've never seen this movie before, Sabrina? You never seen The
No,
Rocketeer?
Absolutely. Are you kidding? No. No, I didn't.
So you're not about seeing this guy. I mean,
I've seen The Rocketeer a million times. It's called The Mandalorian. I've watched 3 seasons of it. So I don't need it.
Oh,
Wow.
I don't need
Sick.
any more. I see plenty of Rocketeers. I keep wanting to say Racketeer. I've seen so many Rocketeers
Okay.
on The
Cast, though.
Mandalorian.
look at this cast.
That
I
though.
don't need any extras.
Look at that cask. No,
Yeah.
that's actually
That's
a really good point because when I first
That's
saw the
hard
Mandalorian
now.
fly, especially with all the other Mandalorians flying around him, I was like,
Yeah.
that motherfucker learned from Rocketeer. Like he knew
Rocketeer, he's
exactly what the hell he was doing. It was great.
Rocketeering all over the place.
Flying just like this,
I,
right?
I,
was
I have
savage.
I have 3 seasons of The Rocketeer and I have another season coming. I don't need this.
And we have a Mandalorian also.
Also, quick question. If we're gonna be like historical here, was there ever a black woman pilot during the Cold War?
Sure.
No.
during
Oh.
the Cold War?
You
Yeah.
don't know.
When
Cold
did that?
War?
that
There's
when
no
it
way.
ended when the
You don't know.
wall came
There's
down?
not even
It's
a
all-
woman pilot in the Cold War, let alone a
It's
black
all
woman pilot.
classified. It's all classified. We
It's
don't know.
all-
Yeah, this is all shut down. The Nazis,
bitch,
well, they're not
please.
Nazis at that point. The
The Cold War,
Warians,
women could barely vote.
the Cold Warians. That was a different world,
Hold on a
you
second.
know.
Wait.
When was
Cold
the Cold War? What
Warriors,
year?
if you
Wait,
please.
yeah. Let's hold
Thank
on.
you, Mike.
Let's
What
clarify
year
this.
was the Cold War? Let's be real. What year was the Cold War?
It ended
Yeah,
when
Mike.
the wall
Google.
came
Somebody
down.
Google.
When
What year
Ronald
was the
Reagan
Cold War?
said,
Fine, I'll
this
do it.
wall needs to come
It's-
down,
I'll
Mr.
fucking do it.
Gorbachev.
I'll
And that
Google
was
it,
the
you
inciting
fuckwad.
incident. It wasn't going to come down anyway. It was when
I-
Reagan
1940.
said it.
Yeah, every
Cold War.
episode, every episode I find something new out about Sabrina that just rocks me to my
It's
core.
history. 1947 to 1948 was the Cold War. Do you think
That's
that
not
fucking
true.
women
That's not
were
correct.
flying?
That's not correct. It was until the Iron Curtain went down in like
It's literally,
91.
I'm looking at it on Google. It says 1947 to 1948.
Hey, this is why
The
AI
very
is
short
not going
Cold
to win.
War.
This is why AI is not going to win, guys. We
They
got
better
this.
get the
How cold
Rocketeer
was
in
the
there
war?
fast because they don't have a lot of time.
No, time.
1947 to
Oh, I'm
48.
sorry. 1947 to 1991? Is it 19 decades? Like, I don't understand. None of this makes sense to me.
Just as much as this Rocketeer makes no sense. That's all I'm saying, making a reboot. But Mike, so
no,
Mike,
no.
yeah,
Hold on. I'm not done.
but
Facts.
you do some
Sabrina's
recon.
got facts.
We do some recon. So
Okay.
Mike, you're a fan of Rocketeer from the '90s, right?
Yep.
Do you even want to mess with your childhood at this point, though?
As long as they bring Jennifer
47.
Connelly back as the love interest with this
hard no.
female with
Did
this
you
black
see her as
female
the love
pilot.
interest in the Top Gun movie? It was so ridiculous.
It's a Fassbender Jennifer Connelly situation. So I'm
Okay,
all
all right, I accept.
confused. I'm all riled up.
Wow,
I'm
I
all,
look at that.
I'm all
I
Look at that
accept.
flapping.
action. Look at that. He's out
I
there.
haven't seen that kind of action since Wile E. Coyote was
Is
tricked
it-
by the
Is
Roadrunner.
it true? The Cold War went from the fucking 1947 to 1991. Is that real?
Yeah, it was a Cold
Yes.
War. It was not a
It was
hot
not a
war.
real war. Yeah, it was
No,
cold.
it said it was a hot fucking.
It was all
this
threats.
is confusing.
It was
So
tricky.
who knows
It was
when it could
tricky
take place?
KGB shit. It's
Well, when I
still
studied
going
the
on. I
Cold
mean,
War
the head
in
of the
fucking high
KGB,
school,
the
I'm
head of the
fairly
KGB is literally the president of
Sorry.
Russia right
I
now.
had a
Like,
terrible joke. I'm not gonna say it. Don't
No
worry.
oh
shit.
man, after the show.
This is
After the
this
show.
is
Yeah, after the
so
show.
this is so alarming.